be honest with you. That right there, says where you're ranked right now, is the reason why you're ranked where you're ranked at right now. You want to be the best player in the fucking country? You're always supposed to be fucking engaged. You're walking around because they didn't give you 2 fouls and he's making it tough for you. That right there, it's fucking soft. That's what I get on your ass about. That's what I get on your ass about. You're walking around, you're walking up the court. You wasn't even going to give Jordan an outlet pass at all. I just chewed you out of it.
How do you feel like your dad is on you?
Like how he was out on Mikel, but a little bit easier.
Really? Do you want him to be harder on you, or do you like where you're at right now?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about that.
What's the story from your side?
Oh, from my side, huh? That was very interesting. We actually met, actually seen her early on in my freshman year because she was going to school in St. Petersburg, but she's from Tallahassee. And as summer came, and when that summer came, she had came back, seen her working out.
I was hesitant to date him because, you know, being a typical basketball player, they're not the most loyal, I guess, of athletes,
I was like,
right?
don't mess with basketball players, you tripping. So I ended up getting her number anyway, but I called her the whole summer and no answer the whole time. The next summer comes, I see her again in the same place. And she walks up to me, she's like, oh, you don't remember me?
He was like, nah, remind me. I was like, oh, you don't remember? Okay, then no worries about it. So I walked away and he was like,
Oh, what's up? You gonna talk to me or what? She goes, I told you I don't mess with basketball players.
we start just cackling and joking and once again he's trying to ask for my number and I'm like, I'm not giving you my number. I know how you go. I know your reputation. I'm not giving you my number. And he was like, okay, well, you know, like, listen, we could at least be friends. I was like, what's the point? Like, I'm going to college, you're going to college, we're not gonna see each other. And he was like, well, where are you going? I was like, I'm gonna go to South Carolina, Limestone, in Gaffney. He was like, word? I'm gonna be 2 hours from you. I'm going to University of South Carolina, Aiken. We're gonna be like, we can come visit each other. And I was just like, this cannot be happening.
She's like, all right, look, give me a call tonight. I answer the phone, and then we'll talk. We got on the phone that night. We probably talked from 10 to like 5 in the morning. And she was, I had a Sprint phone. And I got a text message from Sprint. Like this when Sprint used to send you text messages and it'd be like, your service is about to get interrupted. And I looked and I seen the text message. I had a flip phone at the time. I was like, yo, we might as well stay on the phone because shoot, after I hang up this phone, you ain't gonna hear from me for a while because my phone's gonna be cut off. So we stayed on the phone like 5 in the morning. After that, man, it's pretty much the rest is history because the second time I ever touched her was Mikel Brown. That's Mikel Brown.
I think one of the things that I really respected and admired from him was when I told him I was pregnant, he went quiet and he kind of already knew it. And he was on his way to go play basketball. And so he was like,
I'm on the way to play pickup ball at Florida State. We're gonna keep the baby. I'll call you when I finish playing pickup ball.
How is it you could go hoop and I'm telling you that I'm pregnant? Like, I don't know what to do because I had a college scholarship.
You're just gonna go play pickup ball and you know I'm pregnant. I say, listen, mama, we keeping the baby. I'll call you when I finish playing.
That evening, we go and take a walk around one of the lakes. We just have an in-depth conversation and, you know, I tell him like, I'm gonna have this child. I don't believe in any other form. And he said that he supported my choice. You know, whatever you want to do, I'll support you. But his main thing was like, I wanna have this child. I wanna have this child with you. And that kind of gave me comfort and support. But I also know that the road ahead was not gonna be easy.
I'm like, yeah, coach, we gotta make some money, man. We gotta figure this out. This is me going into my junior year. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna have a fucking kid. This is crazy. But she's crying on the phone. Then we had to set up a time to go meet with her parents.
So when Chris came into the picture and he came to my house, I had a little conversation with him. One of the things that I informed him was I said, look, let me tell you something. You take a step from there to here, and she doesn't know about this. You take your step from there to here. You come in, you're a human being. That's all there is to it. Now I need an answer right now, yes or no. And he said, I can live with that.
Yes, Grandpa.
And he came in and we spoke, we let everything out, because that's one thing that we have. We don't hold back anything.
What are you going to do? What job do you have? Why don't you quit basketball? Like, just grilling me. They were grilling me. The sister and the mom was grilling me so much. The dad was just looking at me. Grandpa was just staring at me. The sister and the mom was grilling me so much, and I was finna say something, and I guess Marty knew whatever I was finna say wasn't gonna go well. So she was grabbing my leg like, yo, just be quiet and take it. And I'm like, yo, I ain't never been talked like my mom and my dad don't even talk to me like this. So he was giving it to me.
When they met Christopher for the first time, they were taken aback. They expected him to just drop everything, and I supported his goal. And Christopher's goal was to be able to play professionally in some form or fashion. And I wanted that to be the case for him. I wanted him to achieve his goal.
I was like, oh man, but Grandpa the whole time was chill. Like, listen, you ain't gotta be with my daughter, but you gotta take care of your responsibility. I was like, yeah, fuck with dude. Fuck with Grandpa.
Up to this date, he knows where we stand, we know where he stands, where our grandkids stands, where everything stands. There's no sugarcoating anything. And you have to be progressive. Yeah. You have to have a good family. You cannot hide anything within a family.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. And we didn't know each other. So our courtship, 19 years in the making. So, yeah.
Probably the most mental lost year that I ever had in my life. Like, you got a kid on the way, the pressure of life is now you got to provide, and you know, I mean, I had just not qualified to go to Division I. I had to go to Division II coming out of junior college, not going to class. So I'm up there like, man, I can't do this shit. This ain't, you know what I mean? This ain't it. But, you know what I mean, it figured it worked its way out. You know, we here with this little dude now, man. I still call him my dude. I used to kiss this dude in the mouth all the time. Day one, like, I remember he was born, and I go look at him, right? I'm like, hold up, that baby's pale. That ain't my motherfucking baby. So I'm like, I looked at her like, yeah, she got some explaining to do. This ain't my child. So the doctor goes, oh, look at how light he is, look at the ears, because he's gonna get dark. I was like, oh, all right, this baby don't look like me. I go back to school. Well, that was April 3rd. I go back to school. I come back home when school was out, like the end of May. And I walk in the house and I see him. I was like, oh, this dude just like me. Wow, this is crazy. So from that point on, hey man, we locked in, dude. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. Once I seen him then, I was like, I knew, like, man, honestly, I was at the point like, you know what, I quit basketball to be with this dude every day. I quit basketball to be with him, like, and basketball is the reason why I met her. Like, it's got me to this point in life where I was like, to be around him every day, like, I quit basketball. This is it. Like, I don't want to go nowhere else.
At the time, at that time, I didn't realize that I was moving so much, and we were moving so much as a family. Like, you know, in Tallahassee, I think we lived in 3 places. We were bouncing around everywhere. I stayed with my grandparents, like that second stint.
How old is Mikel when he came to Texas? He's around 7 and 8. I'm not sure in that time. But we are very happy when they decided to move with us. Zachariah is around 2 years old, and he's a sweet, sweet baby at that time, and is still a sweet baby. Arianna is just a baby, sweet, cutie, chubby baby. And Mikel, Chris encouraged him and taking him to practice and encourage him in any sport. But basketball, he see the talents in her son. Is the basketball.
My dad had a mini hoop on the edge, on the curb of the street, and I'll just be out there playing the whole time. If I'm not playing in that, I'm looking at basketball, I'm watching a movie, or I'm watching Michael Jackson videos. My relationship with my dad was, from the start of when I was a kid, I was just always around him. Like, everywhere he went, I went with him.
For 2 years, you know, he was gone. He went to University of Auken for that year, and then he came back to go to University of West Florida in Pensacola, so we got a lot closer, and that was really, really important because he wanted to be closer to Mikel.
I used to take Kel to class with me and practice, and he used to be running up and down the sideline doing games. But there's one particular thing when I used to take him to class, he would always be quiet, never said anything, but I had this math class, my math teacher, Dr. Newby, I'll never forget him. I had to go back and take my exam by myself in his office. So I got Kel with me. I walk in there with Kel. He's like, hey, he's an African dude. He's like, hey, that's your boy? I'm like, yeah, that's my son. He's old. I see you bring him on all the majority of the classes you came. I'm like, yeah, he stay in the dorm with me sometimes. He goes, I got 2 boys. One of my boys own Jefferson Commons, part of the ownership group in Jefferson Commons in Tallahassee. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. He said, that's my youngest son. He said, but what I did with them was, and I'm gonna tell you, whenever my feet hit the ground at 5 or 6 or 7, 8 in the morning, I made sure my boys were up with me. Wherever I went, I made sure I took my boys with me. He goes, I want you to take your boy everywhere you go, no matter where you at, because if your boy can't go, you're not supposed to be there. I was like, oh. Took him everywhere with me. From that point on, I made it my thing that I'm going to be omnipresent at everything my kids be at, no matter what it is, and it's paid dividends.
That relationship and that bond has been strong, and I don't think really anybody in the country knows or understands like the relationship that we have, because everybody else sees is this hard coach that's just being hard on his son and yelling at his son. It's bigger than that. People don't know the conversation that we have in the car about just life. Off the court, we're cool. Off the court, we're cool. On the court is business. Like, we mean business. But off the court, our relationship is great.
Him yelling, he doesn't mean it in like a mean way. He's just trying to get to you. He doesn't mean it to be like rude. He just means it to be like, either like, what are you doing? You can do better than this, I know it. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Either way, he gets it in sometimes in a rude way, but at the same time, I can't really be mad at him. It works. It works.
This is what I do. Like, it's not like you should be pressured. It's like what you should do. This is the expectation you are going to do. Like, you will be the best on the team, and you should know it. Like, yeah.
He used to always tell me, Grandpa, it's just business. And I never understood that. I was like, no, it's just business. Then one day the light went on. And I said, now I know. I know what it means, it's just business. Just business.
We're very proud.
And when you look at the whole picture, and you look at the whole world, for that matter, it's just business.
When
You wake up, you go play basketball, you win or lose. Next time again, you could probably win. It's just business.
You know, when Chris left high school, he came down here at TCC in Tallahassee. He didn't ever come back home. Never stepped foot back in South Carolina. So I knew he had a plan. I wasn't worried because he told me not to. He said, Dad, I got it. He got whatever he puts his hand on, whatever he do it passionately. He don't do it for the joy. He don't do it for the for all the glory. He do it for the kids. He do it all for the kids. I've seen it. It's not about him, and that's the way I told him it's gonna grow. If you put self out the way, everything else will come.
I can say the difficulty for me was to try and build a relationship with someone who I didn't really know. But he promised that he would care and love and take care of us, so I trusted in that.
When we moved back from Texas in 2013, we was like, man, we got to move and get our own spot. We was like, either we're going to move to Atlanta or we're going to move to Orlando. Volleyball was down here for us. So we moved here in July of 2013. We had gave all our furniture away that we had in Tallahassee because we moved with our parents, back with our parents in Texas.
We had not a penny to our name. I was still a stay-at-home mom. He was still doing his agency work, and I immediately know that I wanted to plug into a volleyball program here, which would help financially and pay. But when I say we had nothing, we were going to the Dollar Tree for juices and toilet paper and snacks.
We didn't have big clothes. We didn't have that much. We have clothes, but we didn't have like good shoes.
We only got my daughter's bassinet bed. We got a TV. We have no beds, no nothing. So we move here. We're sleeping with our heads on. My daughter's sleeping in the middle. I'm sleeping with my head here, my wife, Zach, and Mikel. We did that, bro, from July to November.
But we stuck it out, and I think it was on his birthday in November that he got his first payment from agency work.
I was like, oh shit, it's my birthday. I fucking just turned 30, man. Fuck, I don't have life insurance. I gotta get my shit together. Something just said, check the account. Check the account. $20,000 was deposit from a deal that I done.
And so Chris found a balance with what his calling was to do, and I found a balance in still maintaining coaching and doing what I loved.
2013, struggling out of this world. We wasn't struggling like that in 2023, but your son just signed a multi-year, six-figure deal that is pretty lucrative in 2023, July. 10 years later, nobody could even think like, yo, damn, how can you make that up? A man told me it takes 5 years to make life even. It takes another 5 to get over the hump.
Sacrifices have been many, but I think that's what makes you stronger as a person, right? So
something that my mom has taught me in life and basketball and in general is just don't take anything for granted, because it could all be gone in one day. It could all be gone just like that. So she tries to just keep me on my toes and just make sure I stay grateful and stay humble for everything, be polite to other people, just like I said, keeping me on my toes, keeping me on my P's and Q's. Like, not anything is guaranteed.
I don't expect perfection, because perfection does not exist, but in the eye of the beholder, right? And that's really hard to put somebody on a pedestal. That's just hard. It's not fair. But expectations are real and can be met. But it's all about choices. I can push through this, or I can crumble. And it's that perseverance that parallels how I grew up and where we are today. as a family.